Hi everyone! Hope everyone's having a great day today so far, and I'm so pleased to be able to come to you today. We're going to do a little lesson today on plotline graphs. I've had a few questions about that, but first, before we start, I want to give a shout out to Jenna and Ava and Juliana and Robert. Way to go doing your MobyMax reading test and sending me your reading score, and I was happy to see a lot of really good scores. Everyone's increasing their reading level, and so that's great. And also a shout out to Hartley. Thank you, Hartley, for doing your math and sending me a picture. Glad you're practicing regrouping and lining up your numbers the right way. And so great job, you guys, getting your work done today. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about a plotline graph. Now, a plotline graph is usually used on a number line. And so some of you might remember this sheet right here with the plotline graph right here at the bottom. And so there's a number line on the bottom for the plotline graph, right? And it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? We'll just go up to 9 on this one here. Well, I think we can go up to 10. Let's go up to 10. All right, so on the paper here, it says you're going to be plotting the numbers that they're showing you on your graph, okay? And when we do that, we're going to use a little X, and we're going to write the X right over the number. So the first one here, it says plot the measurements below. 1 inch is the first one. So we would put an X over the number 1. Okay, the next one says 5 inches, so we would put an X over the number 5. The next one says 1 inch, so we put another X over 1 inch. The next one says 10 inches, so we would put an X over the 10. The next one says 4 inches, so we put an X over the 4. The next two say 6, so we put 2 X's over the number 6. The next one says 8 inches, so we put an X over the 8. Back to 1 inch, so we put another X over the 1. And the next one is 2, so we put an X over the number 2. And the next one is the number 10, so we put another X over the number 10. And then the last one is 5 inches, so we put an X over the number 5. So this is called a plot line graph. It's a graph on a straight line, and it plots our data or our information across the number line. Okay, so that's an example of the one here on this sheet here. All right, but let's go ahead and do another one. Let's say that our question is not how many inches on our plotline graph. Let's say let's say our question is how many brothers and sisters do you have? Okay, so if you were going to ask me how many brothers and sisters I have, I would say I have 1 brother. So I would put my X over number 1. Okay, but if I asked my daughter Rachel, how many brothers or sisters do you have? She would say 2, right? Because she has 2 brothers. So we would put an X over the number 2. Let's say that we were to ask my friend Deanna, she would say 3, right? So we would put an X over the number 3 for her. Let's say we would ask my husband. He has 3 in his family. So we would put an X over the number 3, right? My friend Ben, there's 5 in his family. So, of course, I would put an X over the number 5. So whenever I look at this, I can see there's 1 person that I asked in my survey that has 1 sibling. There's 1 person in my survey that I asked that has 2 siblings. There's 2 people in my survey that I asked that has 3 siblings, and there's 1 person that I asked that has 5 siblings. So here's my line, my plot line. I've plotted each bit of information on my line, and of course it makes a graph, right? So I hope that helps a little bit with how to do a plot line graph. Now you can do lots of questions and lots of graphs. If you want to ask, like, how many pets do you have? Something like that, where you can ask people in your family. You can make some phone calls and ask some friends. Or you can just make up how many you want and plot them on your plotline graph if you want to do a little practice at home. So I hope that helps you, especially with this problem right here, and gives you a little bit of an explanation on how to read a plotline graph and what it means. Okay, so another thing that I wanted to talk with you a little bit about is a few kids are having a hard time with Moby Max. And so if you're having a hard time with Moby Max, chances are it's a problem with the programming. And so I can't fix any problems with the programming. So what I would suggest, or maybe you just need a break from Moby Max. So what I would suggest is, especially for math, is that you might try going on Everyday Math. Now remember, Everyday Math is a math website or math games put out by our math program or our math series for second grade curriculum. So I'm going to put the directions up here really quickly so that you can see them. If you want to jot them down, if you don't remember, you can do that. So I'll put them up here with a piece of tape, and we'll go over how to do that really quickly. We did it in class several times during a math lesson for computer lab. Okay, but there's several steps to do it. So I want to just remind you really quickly, and if mom or dad want to watch, then they can too, and kind of help you out if you get stuck. Okay, so I just did it in our 6 steps. And so the first thing that you need to do is you're going to need to log onto your Chromebook, right? And then you're going to click on your Gmail, right? So you're going to click on your Gmail. Then after your Gmail, you're going to go over to the waffle, which is in the right top corner, right? And the waffle is really just, you know, like 6 little dots in the corner, right? We call it a waffle, right? Then whenever you hit the waffle, there'll be a drop down, and there will be a circle. You might have to hit more, right? There'll be a circle, and it's the school website, and there'll be a little tree on there, right? So you hit the circle with the tree. Okay, after you do that, then there'll be a picture of our math book, right? Then after the math book, you're going to go up to the top on the left, and we called it in class the hamburger. Remember? And it's just like 3 straight lines, like the bun on the top, the meat in the middle, and then the bun on the bottom, right? And then, of course, the last one is the online games. So you'll go down and hit online games. And that way you can do something a little different if you're getting a little tired of Moby Max, or if you're having a hard time with that program. Okay, so I'm going to pull this a little bit closer so you can see the steps on how to get on. So I hope that's helpful for you. Okay, the next thing that I wanted to talk to you about is our upcoming Google Hangout. Now I think I figured it out, and I sent everyone a link on Google Classroom. So when it's time to go on Google Classroom, or when it's time to go on our Google Hangout, you're going to go right to Google Classroom, and you're going to just click on that link. Now I've split everyone up into groups, because when we have the whole class, it makes it a little difficult to talk to everyone and see everyone. So if you have a few smaller groups, I think it'll make it easier for us to connect. Okay, so on Mondays at 10 o'clock, Jenna, Miriam, Bella, Jasmine, Khalil, Lucas, Ruben, and Jaden, if you would like to join us for a Google Hangout, you'll go on Google Classroom and hit that link that I just sent today, and we can connect and have a few minutes to talk. Okay, so on Wednesday, students that I have on Wednesday are Callie, Gunreed, Gernor, Jeremiah, Ryan, Hartley, and Alfredo. Okay, I can't do a Tuesday because I have to do teachers' meetings on Tuesdays. So that's why you guys are moved until Wednesday. Okay, and then on Thursday, I have Robert, Daniel, Caleb, Juliana, Ava, Brooklyn, and Nayeli. Okay, so I'm hoping this will work. This will be the way we get on every week. If you can't make it that day, that's okay. But if you have some questions for me, or mom or dad have questions for me, or you want to just talk and check in, this would be a really great time to do that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you on Google Hangout. So I hope you guys have a great day. Maybe try a plot line graph at home. This week, if you want to, just write your number line down and go around and ask some family members some questions and put some X's over those numbers. So I hope you have a great afternoon, and I will see you soon. Bye.